Good morning. I'm testing right now. It's my first live broadcast. My name is Alan, and I am attempting to learn how to day trade. Thought I was doing pretty well at it, but then gave back over 80% of what I had earned in this paper trading account. I will be trading on paper today because I don't want to risk real money. There's just too much to be lost and not much to be gained. If you can't make money paper trading on paper, then you're definitely not going to make money trading real money, because paper trading is actually, it's a very good simulation, way to get used to the candlestick patterns and watching your volume and all the things, all the basic things a trader needs to do. But your fills are going to be too perfect. If you make an order at the 50-cent mark, it doesn't matter if there's 100 shares available and 1,000 people trying to buy them at that mark, you're still going to get filled. So trading on paper, definitely easier than trading on real money, but it's far from simple. Or maybe it's simple but not easy, easy but not simple. The bottom line is it's not as easy as we all might want it to be. Give me a second here while I log in on the other computer. So bear with me while I do this. I am just getting used to this. I mean, it may be too early for me to actually be streaming like this. I mean, because there's a lot of things to keep in mind. Just trading. First of all, you want to find something that has had a good uptick. Yeah, too many distractions. All right. You want something that's, at least I'm looking for things that have made a good show. I'm looking for most of your basic patterns, like your dip and rip, your morning panic dip buy, those kind of things for the morning. And right now, I did set up a scan to see what might show up, and neurobopharma.com looks like it might be interesting. And let's see, NRBO. All right, let's see how that's doing. So I have a 5-minute chart here, and then over here I've set up 4 charts. I think it's important to look to the left, as what is it, Beyonce says, look to the left. What has happened before? And you can see how different stocks do based on their historical data. And what we're looking for is maybe not something like this. I like this, Okay, I like it here where you have several green days. See, this is a daily chart here. And then what I have is sometimes I switch this between an hourly chart and a 15-minute chart, but I typically use a 5-minute and either a 1 or a 2-minute chart. Um, and I typically use a 1-minute chart to trade, but that may just be too fast. But what we're looking for is something that has a lot of volatility and tends to have an upward trend, or at least hold a base. So this right here, it's a low of 482. Oops. Over the last, let's see, 4 months, and it hit up a high right here of 762. But if we look more to the left, what we're looking for is support and resistance. So way back here a year ago, this right here, if this stock was to really take off, it might hit various levels that it's come across in the past. Like, you know what? Let's do this. Make this into a yearly. Okay. Wow. That's the wrong stock. How did that happen? This is, huh. All right. Why did it? All of a sudden it just changed to FinViz, which I had here before. But, okay, let's do this again. Neurobopharma. Okay. So I'm going to change this to a yearly and get a little bit more. Wait, no, I'm going to change this one to a today 2-minute chart. Wow. Okay, not a lot of volume on this. Look at this. We got 2,000 volume. So this is really a stock, even though it's got a little extra volume. Of course, it is pre-market. And my scanner I had set up to check for volume, see if there's any volume spikes. But ultimately, let's try 5-day 5-minute. Sometimes a 5-minute candlestick chart will give you more on stocks that are very lightly traded. But look at this. This only traded 8,000 shares at the last tick yesterday or Monday. So I'm thinking I'm going to pass. We want low float, but we also want high volume, and I'm afraid 8,000 shares is definitely not going to cut it. All right, Silvercorp Metals Inc. My wife is heavy into silver. She would probably love this. This has gone up 85%. SVM. Let's find out what's up with SVM. Oops. I'm using a kind of a funky mouse here because it's the only one I have right this minute. Alright, so this is 1 year, 1 day. Now this is the flexible grid charts. This is not the, let's see, what is it? How do I set this up? Is this set up for trading? Okay. So I am going to go ahead and just eliminate this little box here. Gadget. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Customize grid. There we go. Let's get rid of this. Perfect. Didn't need all that craziness. So it's kind of difficult to keep conscious of the fact that I'm live streaming, as well as focus on trying to find stocks to trade. So you're gonna have to bear with me if you're interested. I don't even know if anybody's watching this, to be honest with you, but that's okay because I think somebody might be, and so that's gonna make my trades hopefully a little more conscientious. But ultimately, ultimately, I kind of like this, and when it goes up, it seems like it really goes up. Got a high of 891. We got volume here. I mean, we're showing on this red day here where it spiked and fell, it had 10 million volume, so that's not too terrible, I don't think. But see, now these are all levels of resistance where if this stock does pop, it can might get blocked at some of these levels of resistance here. So we got to be aware of that. What we're looking at is now one of my biggest. Okay, so this may have taken out all those. Let me get rid of this one. It may not have, but it's the most recent peak. So so we're gonna look at. Let's just look at the last few months. And this 660 might be another level worth paying attention to. I'm thinking there's another level, possible soft resistance. But I think if this thing breaks, well, let's see what it's been doing here. And the 5-minute. See, it jumped up to 650. This could become possibly a dip and rip. But it's going to have to go down from here a little bit. It's going to have to open down from this high and maybe sink for 5 minutes and then maybe pop back up. And then once it pops back up over this 650 mark, it's going to be a possible good trade depending on the volume. And I don't really see any news. See, now that's news, no news. Some people say it's important, some people say it's not. I think it's important. I think it just adds that little extra oomph on if you're a pattern. If you're looking at the patterns and the chart patterns and the candlestick patterns, and that's what you're really focused on. Like there's guys like Tim Sykes. He used to say, I don't know what he says now. I stopped following him when he turned really negative and did a lot, not just so much short selling, but he started he started bagging on some stocks that my wife owned, some marijuana stocks, and obviously it was clear to me that he had a short position. One of them was Namaste, and he probably couldn't understand why it kept going up or was staying straight when he wanted it to go down. So he's had turned into one of those types of people that just has to talk down about a stock. So I kind of stopped following him, although I still do like Tim Bohan. I watch a lot of his stuff. I'll tell you another one I really like is Jared Wesley at Live Traders. Jared Wesley at Live Traders did a free live trading on YouTube. I probably wouldn't be doing this. I'd be spending my time watching him. But there's just not that many free live tradings on YouTube. So I'm happy to put this out here. Happy to feel like people are looking over my shoulder so that I will hopefully make better decisions in my trades and not trade as much. Again, we're not here for action. We're here to try to make money. And there's really only one way to do that, and that's by making good trades or making no trades at all. Because if you lose money, it's the opposite of making money. And you can't see it on this screen, but in my I have another screen here, and I have last week I dip bought what I thought was dip bought Sabre, SABR, and I bought one share. I don't know if you know this, but it should be in my in the description there that I had added like $50 to my to my Roth IRA just to play around with some money to play around with. The other money that's in there is in more long-term stocks, and since my wife picked them and she likes them, I'm leaving those alone. She's done really well. We're doing a pretty good. Uh, she's gotten pretty good gains so far year to date. But some of these stocks have been in this portfolio for a year or two. So basically, I'm playing with $50 in my retirement account, and then I'm playing with $100,000 in my paper account. And when I say playing, what I really mean is I'm learning. This is educational for me. And once I get the education, then it will be profitable for me. I do appreciate shows that I have 5 viewers right now. That's surprising. It's my first day. Incredible. Thank you so much, you guys. Feel free to make a comment and hit that like button and subscribe. Probably help me a lot. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, I'm working on learning how to do this live streaming. And I'm going to tell you something. Prior to today, I played around with my scanner a lot to try to see what I could find and what I could do, but I haven't really become too experienced on this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because honestly, there are other scanners out there that, like there's a scanner on YouTube. Why should I? Well, I'll tell you why. Once I get good enough to really know what I'm looking for, I will set up my own scanners, even better than how they are right now. But for now, I found this one on YouTube. I'm about to show you guys, if I can find it. What's it called? Trading scan. Trade ideas. It's called the Trade Ideas Live Stock Scanner. And one of the ones that I really like on this, every once in a while, they will have and I'm just going to pull it over to this.
Nothing, and I mean nothing, is a smarter or more powerful strategy than the.
I just got rid of my YouTube Premium because I wasn't using it, and my 3-month freebie ran out. So now I got ads. But I'm about to show you what this stock scanner looks like once I get it all set up. It's somebody else's scanner, but so this is it. And what I really love about this is anything that you're interested in is on this scanner, pretty much. They have something they call the Holy Grail down here. I mean, they change positions. They got penny movers. I haven't really found much luck in the penny movers. New daily highs, those are good. the Holy Grail. I don't know why they call it the Holy Grail, but I've seen some really good stuff. And then they sometimes have one on here. I don't see it now, but it's called Ready to Rip. That one's fun. So, these are all making daily lows. Now, once I start trading with real money, I'm not going to be short selling. I'm really not interested in daily lows. But anyway, I just wanted to show you this real quick. Now I'm going to get it off this screen, but we can see, okay, all the new daily lows are showing up on this Holy Grail, obviously, because as you can see over here, all of our markets just took a big red dip. The spider is coming back. It's halfway back. But that could just be a quick uptick before it goes back down. The NASDAQ, same thing. They kind of mirror each other. And then, okay, whoops. Well, if you're watching me, you know that I'm not so great at this yet. I am getting good. I'm learning. Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. 522. So I want I want to change this to a 2-minute chart. Why is it on? This is a 1-minute chart. How did I get it? How did I not have 2 minutes on here? Oh, here we go. Today, 2 minutes. All right, so we got 5:24 a.m. I want to find 5:24 a.m. Okay, now that kind of lets me know what the major indexes are doing. Oh, by the way, this is the only level 2 to use. It highlights the last price. It aggregates all of the bids and the asks instead of the other level 2, which is like this. Okay, so right here it shows you have 2 offers at 615. Over here it shows 2. That's not a good example. If there was more of a stock, sometimes you could see like here's 620, and there'll be like 15 of those all down this line here. And then over here, there'll be like 1 guy, 3 guys, 1 guy, 2 guys, 1 guy. So over here, it skips all that. So you don't really have to do all, estimate the math on this, on that. You can just look over here and you can see there's 2, whatever. Plus, now I haven't used it for this, but you can enter your own orders in here. There's a buy. You can just click to buy at this price or sell at this price. If you're a short seller, it's a quick way to get in and out, I guess. And then another thing I like about this, it's very convenient, very easy to see the volume, intuitive actually. And then once I open a position, it'll show at each price point what my profit or loss might be. So I've found this to be extremely helpful. All right, so some of the things that we're looking for. We are looking for it's hard to keep up talking when I'm looking. Hopefully that'll get better. There is one live trading show that I do like to watch called Trader TV Live, and that's also on YouTube. I actually have them on my little 10-inch tablet over here, just to see what those guys are into. Okay, to business. So we have AMC. It's AMC has been popping. It skyrocketed. It went down, but it just popped up on the Holy Grail. Now you can see all my levels that I put before. Let's see what the charts are telling us. course, the novelty of doing this new, doing things this new way. Ooh. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm having a really hard time focusing on my trading because I'm trying to do this this live streaming. So it's not exactly. Oh, you can see my buys and sells. I forgot. Yeah, I did a lot of trading on AMC, made some money, but here we go. Let's see what it's doing on the 5-minute chart. Let's see what it's doing on the 2-minute chart. There, duh. I'm just having a hard time finding stuff today. So here's what we have. This is pre-market. It's making another climb. So our level this morning, let's try a 5-day 2-minute. Okay. So here's, what's the high here? 598. Okay. So there's the level. What we're going to want to see over here is we're going to want to see an opening dip. When it opens, we want this to pop back down a little bit, maybe here. This is a good, and there's a lot of resistance levels here. We'll see where it goes though. But we're going to want it to pop down, turn red for a minute. Say there's a lot of people who are sitting on this stock. Maybe they bought it. Let's see, where did they buy it? Maybe they bought it down here. Maybe they bought it up here. They bought it somewhere at a different price than it's at right now. And as soon as the market opens, because there's been some movement, what could happen is a lot of sell orders are going to go in, and we're going to see this thing dip as soon as the market opens, because you got all these automatic orders that people have put in, and they just want to make their money back or get some money or whatever. So so once that happens, we'll watch it dip, and then over here, if it comes back on strong volume, we're going to watch for it to break this point here, and but the volume has to be strong. Once it breaks, I instead of 598, let's say, fixate on whole numbers sometimes. So I'm going to say once it breaks 6, and if there's strong volume, maybe a trade that we're going to take. There's no news, so it's kind of a 50-50 shot on that, because AMC news is old news, but it's been trading a lot, and so there might be a scalp opportunity there. I don't really know. We'll find out. Oh, these ads are really annoying. I may end up having to pay for YouTube Premium because, well, so market's about to open. Ding, ding, ding. There it is. It is 6:30. Let's see what happens with AMC right now. Watch this on the 2-minute chart. I hope to see it go down, but not too far down. I'd like to see it go down, touch the VWAP, which is right here. VWAP 580 has changed to 584. And so if this comes down, Okay, so now it's extended past VWAP, but we'll still see what it does. Just because it touched below VWAP doesn't mean it's going to enter into a downtrend. If this fades and then comes back, I mean, I suppose you could really look at this as the level that you want to see it go past to make a trade. And then if you do that, then your profit is going to be from 585 to 598. But your risk would be 585 to somewhere in this level, like 572. So you're risking 13 cents to make 14 cents. That's not a good risk. You want to try to find at least 1 to 1.5, 1 to 2 minimum. And if it's that low of a return, it better just be a really good setup. And what you really got to do is watch the levels of resistance and support off to the left. And the reason you do that, it's nothing magical. It's because every other trader out there is doing the same thing, and that's why it works. It's like groupthink, like everybody creates this self-fulfilling prophecy because that's where it's been. Okay, look at this. It's at 592. Yeah, I want to see it get above 6, and if it does get above 6, what do we have? Let's look here. If it gets above 6, our next point might be what's the high? 659. That's not a bad trade. There's some over here though. What else do we have? Let's change this. Let's give this what are these? Okay, that's about a month. Let's do, can 20 days, 1 hour show it? Oh yeah, most definitely. We're looking at these levels, 599. This one concerns me a little bit, this green candle here, but it's pre-market. It's at 6 high. That's the high, 559. No, here we go. So the high here is 679. Yeah, it looks like if we oh look, we passed it and I missed it. This happens sometimes. Now the question is, yeah, let's enter. Let's do our order entry. I do it like this. I buy market and then I edit because I haven't really gotten into the trading part yet. So I'm gonna buy. Let's do 3,000. 3,000, and always make limit orders on your buy orders. And I want to limit this at 601. So 601 is my look at that, I got filled so fast. Okay, now my risk. So I'm going to set my stop loss down here at 570. No, I'm going to set my stop loss. This is the great thing about being a new trader. Sometimes it's hard to find your levels. I'm going to set my stop loss at 585. And the way I do that, again, I just go over here to sell market. Okay, I have, what am I, 3,000 shares. Whoops. I want to do 3,000 shares, and then I want to make my stop loss at 585. Not, yeah, it's just it's just a stop. I don't put a limit on my stop. 585. Okay. Now, of course, all of this stuff takes time, and it's important to actually learn the shortcuts on the keyboard, etc. But ultimately, I'm not going to be trading on this platform, so I've kind of made it a low priority. I know I probably shouldn't have. Now you notice how this is staying above VWAP. we do not want this to go below the VWAP. In fact, I probably should put my stop right below the VWAP. It is kind of there anyway. I'm going to move it to, you know what, no, I'm just going to leave it where it's at. And I'm going to watch and see what this does. This is your, did you see how low this went though? First thing this morning, it popped down to 579. That's probably where I could have put my stop there. But that's a lot of risk. So what I'm doing is I'm risking at 585 and I got in at 597. I'm risking 12 cents, but at $6 to what I think, where I think it could go. What was that level that I pegged out? Let's see. 659. Might be 659. Might even go up to 684. But regardless, it's definitely over 3 to 1 if it works out. So I'm not too worried about this. Look at that, it's at 604 so far. It's $180. That's going to fluctuate, but you see how this is right over here. I really do like this. I like the volume. I also really love, okay, so the ask size. These people are asking 606. There's a lot more sellers right now than there are. Oh, look at that, the buyers just picked up. So it's pretty even. Typically, when you have more buyers than sellers, the price goes up. When you have more sellers than buyers, the price goes down. So you really want to keep an eye on this, and it changes pretty quick. And in fact, because this is my paper trading account, this is not as quick to change as it is on a regular account. I've noticed there's I mean, it says real time, and I'm on real time data. I had called TD and had them change that for me or chatted with them. But ultimately, what we have here is still somewhat of a delay because, and I chatted with the person at TD and I said, why is my level 2 on my paper trading slower or less responsive than my level 2 on my regular account? And what he had told me was that the resources are preserved at the expense of the paper accounts so that the real-time accounts can be spot on. So yeah, that's something that we deal with. And I think I might, okay, there's no really new lows here. This is yeah. If this pops and makes a new low, I will raise this stop, but I really love what it's doing here. It's at 614 now. I didn't really see anything on the chart that indicates that it'll stop going up until it gets to at least 659. So that's pretty cool. Basically what we do is we sit back, we watch it, and really, okay, see, we got 770 sellers at 615 and only 15 buyers. The price is going to go down, but now we're 26 to 40. Might stabilize a little bit. Once we get more buyers over here, it'll keep going up. If this slows down too much, I might just flatten out because I already have $480 profit, and so that's not bad. For what? It's been 9 minutes since the market opened, and I started this at 6 a.m. with my pre-market, so 40 minutes of work, 509.70. I have a friend that's an operating engineer. He drives heavy equipment. He makes $43 an hour, which is pretty enviable for most blue-collar workers. And I was a blue-collar worker, and I was pretty envious. But at some point, trading is hopefully going to change that for me. And he works hard for his money, just as I used to work hard for my money. But now I want to work smart for my money. That's where the stock market comes in. What better way? I mean, if you're smart, you don't have to be a genius, but you do have to have some good common sense and ability to figure things out. But if you can do that, and you can put the time in to learn these things, this is something, go where the money's at. If you want to make money, like what was that guy that robbed all the banks? They asked him, "Why do you rob banks?" He said, "Because that's where the money's at." Why in the stock market? Because that's where the money's at. Cut out the middleman. Okay, see, this is doing really good. This jumped up to 615. I should have sold it. Now it's going back down. You know what? I'm gonna flatten this. Let's see what it's doing right now. Okay, not yet though. I'm gonna watch this level 2. See down here, 24.48. So it may go up a little bit. I'm gonna wait till it's a few pennies up. Look at that, 82 buyers, 4 sellers. At 612, it's gonna go up. 44. Okay, now there's an imbalance at 614, but it still might do okay. So I'm just going to hold my finger on the trigger here. Look at that, 616, too many sellers. Okay, nice. You never really hit the top, but hey, look at that. Earlier today, I said I had $669 to play with because that was what I had left after my little blowout on Friday of my profit. I started roughly 100,000. See how this has 100,000 now? Friday it said 200,000. I don't know. It's a mystery to me why that switches back and forth between 100 and 200,000. If anybody else out there knows it, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But it's really not that important because whether it's 100 or 200,000, I'm only trading as if I have 100,000. So let's look at this. What did I get? I got filled at 597 on the buy, on the entry, and I sold at 616. Oh, look at that, and it's gone up to a high as 625. But I don't really care. I'm if I make money, and look at that, I risk what did I say? I risked 12 cents, and I made 97.07, so almost 19 cents. So that's about 1.5 to 1. Not bad. It's good also to keep an eye on these over here. When the market's going up, your stocks tend to go up. When the market's going down, your stocks tend to go down. And that was something that I forgot to do. I was not paying attention. I may have just got lucky that this went up anyway. Sometimes you have inverse. Should indicate kind of a really strong stock if it goes up when the market is going down. And I do. These are 2-minute charts. So, and this, I believe, yeah, this is a 2-minute chart. So 6 minutes ago, this was red. 4 minutes ago, this was red. 4 minutes ago, this was green. 6 minutes ago, this was green. It's weird. It's like inverse. This one is green now, and we're red over here. Well, that's because this got tired. All the buyers got what they wanted. Now the sellers are stepping in. Honestly, if I wasn't live streaming right now, I might be done this morning. However, I still want to keep streaming this, and I want to keep. Okay, so let's look over here on the scanner. DPW looks like new daily highs. I want to go over here to my charts and see what DPW looks like on the daily chart. No, again, 1 year, 1 day. Wait, IDEX. it's funny getting used to using one screen again. When I first started, that's all I had to work with was one screen, and then I added a 22-inch screen, so I had two screens, and that was nice. But there's a lot of stuff that I just like to be able to glance over. So like, okay, you see this right here. I have something very similar to this all by itself on another screen. And then I have, of course, something very similar to this because on my other screens I'm using my actual real money account in order to get the best level 2. Although this seems to be working. I mean, I'm doing okay on this. Oh, look at this IDX. Look at that, 138.20. It's at 387. Let's see what it's looking like. Oh, that's choppy. But it's near a bottom. It's under the VWAP. Okay, now this is very important for a new trader like myself. So pay attention. Okay, here's what I have on my chart. A lot of people, they have a lot of stuff. I don't even need these three, but what I have here is, of course, VWAP. I will never get rid of the VWAP off my screen. Okay. And then also, what I have is this is the 9 EMA, and this is a 20 EMA. Now I play with the 20, but a lot of people use the 21, and I may actually switch to that. But I found a lot of traders use these. I was following this one trader who he was doing live morning shows, and I was really liking that. But then he started cutting them off right when the market opened, so it stopped doing me any good. But he used the 9 and the 20 EMAs. I'm trying to remember his name right now. I can't think of it. Warrior Trading, Ross from Warrior Trading. And I really liked to watch him trade, but I realized his trading style was not something that I could effectively do, because what he'll do is he will sort of average in and out of his trades, and for one stock movement he'll make he might have like 20-30 buys and sells, because he'll buy 1,000, he'll watch it go up a couple pennies, buy another 1,000, buy another 1,000, and if you're trading $1 million account, then the commissions, they're not that expensive. And in this case, obviously, TD Ameritrade is commission free in the U.S., but in Canada, they charge commissions. So there's crazy commissions. I'm in California right now, but my wife is in Canada, so sometimes I will be trading in her account, sometimes I will be trading in my account, and I just can't afford all those crazy commissions. So I can't really do that at this point, although he's very successful at it. I like to try to buy and just watch it go up. And there's nothing wrong with averaging in or averaging out. In fact, obviously, it's a very highly successful technique for Ross and probably for a lot of people. But if you're new, you got a small account, it's not really going to help that much, because you're going to eat it up in your. I would like to see this. I have to come back to this one. If this, see now, this may be like a morning panic dip buy. So what's happened is, and like I say, might be, is this has fallen below the VWAP, and now it's sort of marking out its territory. Okay, you got your highs somewhere in this range, maybe 393 to say 386. Now, if it stays in this range most of the day, we'll come back at 2 o'clock and see if this thing heads above the VWAP. That's a volume weighted average price. There's a formula for that. But if it gets above that VWAP and it has a pretty steady line, and then it pops like the high of day, then it could possibly rip. So I'm going to just make a mark here for the high of day, and then I'm going to put this on my other screen, I've got a chart up here that's got like 9 charts on it, and that's where I save all of my the stuff I want to come back to. So IDEX. Again, you don't need a bunch of screens to be a successful trader, but if you're like me, and you just like to have stuff at an easy glance without having to work for it, it's nice to have extra screens. Okay. Oh, I don't know. We gotta try to keep it simple, stupid. What is KSS doing? KSS. I always hit the wrong keyboard when I'm doing this as well. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's see what the yearly chart looks like on this. Always check your large time frame. Okay, now see, this is what traders love to see, is sort of a steadiness and then an uptrend. Now we had a little bit of consolidation, and then there was an uptrend, and then there was a little downtrend. But now what we have here, we had some consolidation, and then Friday we had a huge move. It opened at the previous day's open, and it opened at 48. Opened at 49.01, and it closed at 52.70. See, this is kind of an expensive stock. See, I am tempted to trade these in my paper account because I have the money to trade a $50 stock in there, $100,000. But I tend not to trade them because I want to trade. A, I want to trade like I have $100,000, but B, I also want to trade like I have a small account to get used to it. So when I do switch to trading real money, I won't be distracted by these giant stocks that I could never afford. It is 57.48. On say a $5,000 account, you couldn't even buy 100 shares. That'd be 5,700. But I want to watch this anyway because I don't really have a lot of action, and I'm not here for action, by the way. We're traders. We're here to make money. We're not here for action. It's better to stay out of a trade. We're not trying to predict what's about to happen. What we want to do is we want to watch and see what happens, and respond to the market, react to the market, not predict the market. We're like snipers. I've heard someone said, a sniper goes out and he sets up and he digs in, and he's there for hours or days or weeks, and he may be set up outside the enemy base, whatever. But he's got a limited number of bullets. As soon as he fires one off, of course, his position is going to be exposed. So he has to decide what he's going to try to do, who he's trying to take out. Is he waiting for the colonel? Is he waiting for the general? Is he waiting for a particular individual? But you're not going to want to be wasting your bullets and exposing your spot for privates or petty officers or whatever. You want to wait till that general pops out. So what we're looking for in these stocks is the same thing. We're looking for the general. Let's see what NXTD is doing. That just popped up on the scanner. NX. Whoops. I'm always using. I have 2 keyboards. Basically, how I have my setup is I have a Lenovo desktop with 3 22-inch monitors, which I bought pretty cheap on Amazon. I added a cheap graphics card. What was it? A GT 1050, I think. And then I forget. So I got those 3 monitors, and that's enough for that computer because I wasn't really too aware of what kind of computer I should get. So I got basically I bought a used one. It's got 2 cores, 4 threads. That was my mistake. I bought it. It came with 2 monitors plus I had my other monitor, and it seemed like a really good deal at the time. It was, honestly. It was $320 for 3 monitors and a Lenovo M78 with a I forget the processor, but it was a really good deal for the price. And then adding the graphics card, and it handles what I have it do. But ultimately, I keep my order entry and on my laptop, which I have connected to one other screen. So I have 2 screens basically on for my laptop, and then I have 3 screens for that. So now when I'm trying to do things and I'm going to try to look up stocks or whatnot, I have 2 mouses, 2 keyboards. Sometimes it gets a little confusing. But well, I'm looking at this AMC Go on my other screen, but I'm also watching this NXTD. This is pretty good. I mean, it's too late to catch it right now, but there's no telling if it starts to sort of steady out or if it breaks. Hang on, let me see what I'm doing. Whoops. NXTD. Yeah, this is a good one. I feel like I'm going to put this on the list. So be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. 3 likes, 9 subscribers. Not bad. So now this is a good one. If this would have been on my radar, here's where my entry would have been. Probably for this move up because it's above the VWAP. It broke this sort of weak resistance. So that might have been my entry, and then this might have been my target right about here, 252. So that'd be 12 cent gain, and then I might have put my stop right here. So that's a 5 cent risk for a 12 cent gain. That would have fit. But now what I want to do is I want to watch this, and I want to see. Let's see what it's doing here. It's the 1 minute chart. But I want to see where my levels are on this. Because, okay, so we have a $3.12 high from Friday. And then sort of a pre-market, let's call this, what is this, high? This is 268. So that's another high. So basically, if we were to trade this, those would be our two targets. So right now it's at 252. What am I looking at here? Charts. Let's see. Let's look at 20 days, 1 hour. I want to try to find my levels. And that does look like that's it. So if this breaks that, what's this? Where was this? And see this? Oftentimes support can become resistance, and resistance can be support. You can see that this was support here on this green bar, and now that support sort of turned into resistance over here, but it just broke through that. In fact, this might just, I'm going to have to trade this. Let's go. Wait. Stop. What's the volume? I think it's tired. You see that volume? That would have been a stupid trade. Let's watch where it goes. See if I might have got lucky, but we're not, MacGyver would rather be lucky than good. And of course, who wouldn't? I would just like to be lucky, but you can't rely on luck for this. Too many sharks out there waiting to take your money. So it's good. You see a good pattern. I don't see any actual news. On this stock. Let's go over here and see if there's any. So what I also have is now I just set this account up. So I need to add FinViz and Yahoo Finance. And look and see what kind of news we have. Now the first thing I want to do is copy this. And I want to add it to my shortcuts down here. FinViz. Okay. NXTD. Let's see what kind of news we have on this. So the most recent NXTD reduces term debt by $5 million. That's not super important to me, but I'm a beginning trader, so there might be something. But there's no real. Oh, and you see now it's going down. Watch. Look at that. I'm glad I didn't enter that trade. However, we can keep an eye on our volume, and as long as it doesn't cross this, it may still be a good trade. We're going to see where it bottoms. Well, what I'm going to look for now is I'm going to look for it to make a double bottom at some point with plenty of volume to get all those sellers out of the way. Like, see, this is a big red candle, but we're still kind of light on the volume. So I would love to see a red candle, any red candle, whether it looks like this one or this one. I would like to see any of those with a bar like this, or at least like this, almost $1 million. That would make me happy. On the 2 minute, I think so. But ultimately, if this makes, okay, so let's see here. See this again? What we have here? Okay. Oh, that resistance just got broke through. So let's see. Let's find the support. Where's the support going to be? It's going to be at 245. It could. If that becomes support, what I'm going to look for is to see if it goes up a little bit more. If there's no volume, then we'll see it dip down again. And as long as it doesn't drop past that, then we're going to look for it to bump up again above 250. And if there's volume, we can anticipate a break. But Actually, probably a smart trader would wait till it broke this 256 level and then do it. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But I like this. I think I'm just going to watch it. And if I'm watching it and there's no good reason to watch it, so be it. We're snipers. We're not throwing hand grenades here, and we're cluster bombs. We're sitting patiently. We're watching, and we're waiting until that general steps out of that building. We fire off that shot. We don't want to waste our shots, aka our money, on crazy speculation. Okay, so now it bumped up, but the volume, look at this. So far the volume's not picking up. We're looking over here, we still got more sellers than buyers. Not incredibly, but you know, 248. So it reached down, it touched the 9 EMA, but it hasn't got to the 20 and it hasn't got to the VWAP. So I don't really think there's a lot of room in this. But I do like that this 245 level is holding. If this holds and we get some volume, whoops, we may be able to make a trade. But if it shows up naturally, if we start forcing trades, we're just gonna dump our account again. So that's not something we want to do. All right, let's see what else is popping. Again, I always go back to this Trade Ideas live scanner from Kelvra on YouTube instead of my own scanner because they have a lot of good ideas and it doesn't waste my computing resources. I try to stay away from the penny movers, but sometimes I like to check them out just for the heck of it. Let's go to our, I want to have my yearly chart up to just start looking at some stocks here that I'm seeing on this scanner. We got RNWK. Let's see what that one's doing. Oops. So I kind of like this. It just kind of stays steady and then it pops. What we want to avoid definitely is anything that's even in a slightest downtrend. We want something that's going to hold the VWAP. So here's where we're at on this. This is a new high of day, 485. This is where it's at now. Let's switch this to a 20-day 1-hour chart. And looks like really the only important ones to me, I would say this would, I don't know, this is a good bottom. It's holding this pretty well. In the pre-market, it went up to 639. And this thing is currently, okay, this may also be support. You see how this is resistance right here and right here at the 424 level. So that could possibly turn into support. This could possibly turn into resistance. But that leaves, what does that leave? 25 to 75. That leaves 75 cents. And if we can see this bottom right here as possible support, I like this 639 mark. Nah. Okay, let's see what else we can find. I'm only looking for the highs. I'm looking for momentum in the positive direction because I'm not at the point yet where I want to complicate things by short selling, and this is not the market to short sell in. Hang on a minute, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. Let's see what we got. Here's something the background. That's just my tea kettle boiling up some water. IMPX. Okay, here we have support. Here we have possible resistance, resistance, resistance. See why a lot of traders tend to lose is they just look at the 1 day, the 1 minute, 5 minute chart on a daily, and just looking at 1 day's worth of moves. But you got to go above that to see, people will buy it. Like, okay, let's look. We'll look at this setup right here, and we say, wow, this looks like a pretty good setup. Well, I'm not sure right now. I'm just saying as an example. Let's look at this on the 5 minute chart. And that's not bad. We had this looks like a possible morning dip and rip if it can stay above this, the VWAP here. It was up. I'm going to look at this on my other screen. It's too hard switching back and forth. And here it is, 7:14, so almost 45 minutes after the open. There's really not a lot. It's probably going to pop today. Already made, what, about almost $500 this morning in this paper account, which I'm pretty satisfied with. What I might just do now is sign off, go work in the garden a bit, and come back at about 1:30, 1:45 for the afternoon session. This is where I like the morning panic buy. Morning panic buy. What happens is you get a lot of sellers in the morning, and then it kind of consolidates for most of the day in a certain narrow range, and then around 2 o'clock it will rip. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. There's very few patterns right now as a beginning trader. Well, intermediate, beginning intermediate, I don't know. A guy that's been interested in stocks for years. I started actually investing back right after the internet bust became the boom of around what 2001, 2002. And at that point, I was a long investor, and I invested in a lot of stocks. I subscribed to this newsletter called the Value Line Investment Newsletter, and I thought I was a stock picking genius for about a year, until the market turned, and then I realized, a rising tide floats all boats. So that's kind of the market we're in right now too. It's a rising tide. It's hard to fail. Well, don't get me wrong. It's easy to fail if you just randomly go in there and you think you know what you're doing, but you don't. And there's plenty of people out there that are ready to take your money if that is the case. But that is what it is. I'm just basically talking to fill the air right now because there's one thing I don't like is tuning into someone's YouTube channel and there's all you see is stuff on the screen and they're not explaining what's going on. But so there's a few stocks that we're going to watch and see, but ultimately I think, oh, look at this. This dip in the market is not pretty. This is a good time to get out. We had, what do we have? I made 2 trades today. Got in at 597, got out at 616, basically on the day. $570 profit on this paper account, which is not bad because I started the day with basically $669 I could play with. That was what was above the $100,000 mark. Yeah, it's not really true. A lot of the numbers I'm mentioning are what makes sense to me, but for some reason they don't seem to be appearing here. I don't understand this. I don't know why. If you look at my video from the other day, this showed 200,000 and it would show $200,669. In fact, this morning I'm pretty sure that's what it showed. So I have absolutely no concept why now it's showing. Oh, okay, 101,000. Duh. So my $669 has now turned into 1,265. All right. So between trading and live streaming and trying to do all that, you could see I'm slipping a bit. So I think this is a good spot to end this. And I will be back here at 1:45-ish. Thank you so much. You have a good one.